Coming up on NAZ Today, we have the latest for you on this morning's Capitol shooting.
The Grand Canyon is closed because of the government shutdown, but what does this mean for local businesses?
And we'll tell you about a Flagstaff cafe you'll want to try.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm community anchor Randy Fenley.
And I'm student anchor Aurelia Quaddy. Thanks for joining us.
Last night, the Flagstaff Police Department and the U.S. Marshals made arrests in an ongoing stabbing investigation. Reporter Virginia Beamer met with Sergeant Corey Runge of the Flagstaff Police Department to find out the details.
We're just happy that these people are in custody and can go through the justice process, and that the family can now be rest assured that the suspects are in custody.
I'm here on South Eldon Street, where 3 weeks ago a gang-related stabbing resulted in the death of one person and the hospitalization of two others.
At that time, applications and we obtained search warrants and arrest warrants for Michael Vallejos and Jeremiah Barlow.
Sergeant Runge additionally confirmed that all three suspects are now in custody. For NAZ Today, I'm Virginia Beamer.
A woman is dead following an explosive situation in Washington, D.C. today. Officials say this unidentified woman tried to ram a barricade near the White House and led police on a car chase ending near the Capitol. A child was in the backseat of the vehicle but was unharmed. Witness John Zangus explains the scary moments he saw firsthand.
From the direction of Pennsylvania Avenue, there were about 6 police cars chasing it. It came up onto the sidewalk. They cornered it. It backed up. It looked like it had either run into another police car, or it backed towards police, and they opened fire on it. I heard between 7 and 10 shots fired.
After the car chase ended, officials say a female driver got out of the car and officers shot her. An officer was injured during the chase but has no life-threatening injuries.
The Grand Canyon National Park remains closed as the government shutdown continues. The park closure has frustrated the 18,000 people who visit the park on an average day. NAZ Today's Adrian Garola has reaction from visitors and residents of northern Arizona.
Arizona has one of the most scenic landscapes in the country. However, the recent government shutdown has closed many national parks. We spoke with Don, a Flagstaff resident, who recently returned from the Grand Canyon.
And we got kicked out of there yesterday, along with many of the other volunteers and non-essential personnel, doing stuff around Flagstaff with hiking, camping, plenty of state parks, great meadows, great trails. The Snow Bowl is open on the weekends for the chairlift, and the aspens are turning, so it's a beautiful place to be and a great alternative to the Grand Canyon.
With the Grand Canyon closed, we're here in downtown Flagstaff, getting the take of how the closure has affected residents and tourists coming through the town.
Yeah, we wanted to go to the viewpoint, but all the people told us that it's not possible, so we didn't even try, and came back to Flagstaff here. And yeah, we are still trying to enjoy the nice weather and in this nice town here, right?
It's a lot of tourists that aren't coming through. I think it's like 18,000 visitors to the canyon. Is it daily? Yeah, so and a lot of them stop here to get their supplies, and they're not going to the canyon.
Even with the closure of all national parks, Flagstaff still has plenty of opportunities for recreational activities that people can attend. For NAZ Today with videographer Tyler Whitman, I'm Agent Garola.
Our company has always
Canyon
been in a
Explorations Expedition.
25 years of operation.
Canyon Explorations Expeditions, or CanEx, is a family business that takes about 700 people a year on Colorado River trips. NAZ Today's Sierra Ferguson met with the owners of CanEx, who told us about how they are impacted by the government shutdown.
Our company has always been in a healthy business position throughout 25 years of operations. We've remained fully sold out even through the economic downturn each year. And now with the government shutdown today, I'm about to issue our first refund checks for our participants.
Doesn't have access to the national parks. It's a very sad thing. And Grand Canyon specifically is such a beautiful place, an amazing place in October. I mean, the colors, the lighting, it's just absolutely amazing. People choose to go specifically in October for those reasons.
Canyon Exploration Expeditions has stocked their storerooms to go on the river, and they've stocked it with a lot of local products. Unfortunately, these products won't be seen in the river as a result of the canyon being closed off. Canex buys food from local suppliers to outfit their boats. Businesses such as Peaks Produce, Toucanet, Cork and Bottle, and Randall's Meats, among other vendors, usually provide products for a trip. Now these businesses also will lose profits and revenue. Even in the face of lost, perishable products and profits, the Staveleys remain hopeful that the canyon will open again soon.
So each day that goes by, we still have some opportunity to salvage some portion of these folks as a potential experience in Grand Canyon that they've been looking forward to.
So we'll hope that you know, the powers that be back in Washington can you know, come to some sort of an agreement so that the remaining customers that we have lined up for our October trips actually can get on their trips.
And really, it's been really heartbreaking. As the general manager in a small family business, this has completely sidelined me in my conversations, keeping in touch with everybody every day as things continue to unfold from Washington.
For NAZ Today with videographer Carrie Frederick, I'm Sierra Ferguson.
If you would like more information about Canex, visit canex.com. Coppa Cafe is quickly growing as a popular cafe in town. We'll tell you what they're about after the break.
And the NAU Narwhals Quidditch team is hosting their second annual invitational this weekend. Stay with us.
Good evening. I'm student forecaster Alexa Dumity. Thanks for joining us. Pretty blustery day outside today. We've seen quite a bit of wind, and that's due to the storm system right up here that's moving in and bringing with it some cooler temperatures. Meteorologist Lee Bourne will tell us more coming up.
Hi, I'm Lee from the Ski House in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I'd like to show you a little bit of our ski store. We've got the newest products for 2013 from Line, Armada, Rossignol, Scott, Marker, Full Tilt, and many others. If you see something on our wall and you want to try it, take part of our demo program. We have hundreds of demo skis you can try before you buy for as low as $45 a day. So come on up to Flagstaff when you're going out to the Arizona Snow Bowl, and you can be as stylish as our model Holly. She's got some of the latest helmets from Burn, Spy, Nomis, and pants from Sessions. Not just stylish, but also technical. Ski House, we got you covered, any budget.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the latest cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste with 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna be so proud.
Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Modern Grove Neighborhood Eatery and Market defines the heartbeat of our local community by bringing together the food and families that call it home. Modern Grove, located on South Milton Road, open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come enjoy the aroma and taste of our homemade bread, pizzas, and much more. Sit outside on our patio for a relaxing afternoon beverage.
Even as the Affordable Care Act takes effect, it remains a bone of contention in the nation's capital. As lawmakers continue to wrangle over the law, federal offices remain closed. Here's a little background on the rancorous debate.
Which Americans are getting help from Obamacare? Comedians.
Now that I've got free health care, I can get sick all the time.
All jokes aside, inside the politics of Obamacare, the government shutdown, and the looming fight over the debt ceiling are familiar. Which Americans are getting help from Obamacare? Comedians.
Now that I've got free health care, I can get sick all the time.
All jokes aside, inside the politics of Obamacare, the government shutdown, and the looming fight over the debt ceiling are familiar Washington games with rules of battle. Rule number 1, convince the confused. Polls show many people don't understand Obamacare, so supporters and opponents smell opportunity to define or demonize it. How? Fiery speeches.
Do you stand with your country? Do you stand for your country? Or do you want to take it down?
Unflattering newspaper illustrations and creepy ads. Rule number 2, rally the base.
Let's help our fellow Americans get covered.
The law's a train wreck.
Rule number 3, trot out the downtrodden, real people with real problems who will say they love or hate what you love or hate. Rule number 4, always speak for the American people.
The American people want this bill. This law.
I think that the American public overwhelmingly opposes Obamacare. Every survey shows that.
Not quite, Senators. Not all Americans want Obamacare, and not every survey shows they overwhelmingly oppose it. And rule number 5, never, ever give up.
We don't want Obamacare. We think it's a bad idea and going to hurt people.
I will not negotiate on anything when it comes to the full faith and credit of the United States of America.
Well, never give up until politics forces you to. In Washington, I'm Shannon Travis.
Coppa Cafe, Flagstaff's European-style bistro, prides itself on its unique dishes and ingredients, all found within the forests right here in Flagstaff.
And NAZ Today's Imani Payne found out more about their local sourcing.
We're trying to connect, really connect the sense of place, the feeling of northern Arizona, and trying to put that on the plate and trying to create our own flavors and uniqueness while we do it. Showing that we appreciate where we live and we get inspiration from where we live, and introducing them to our restaurant at the same time.
Aside from made-from-scratch dishes and the European flair, Coppa owner Brian Konopil credits the mountain towns of northern Arizona for giving him inspiration.
And we just thought, I think if you make nice food, I think there's an audience for it, and so we chose where we wanted to live, and then we decided we wanted to open a restaurant because that's what we do.
I think Flagstaff opened the possibility of owning our own place without having partners and without being a huge investment. So that is awesome, and that's really what the meaning of the word local, is.
If you plan on making a trip down to the restaurant, now is the time, as Coppa is having an exciting and rather interesting event coming up in the near future.
In the end of October, we're going to do a pig and beer festival at the restaurant where we're going to break down the whole animal. We're going to do tons of different types of dishes, like classic European dishes and some American dishes, and just really have a big old, pork fest.
For NAZ Today with videographer Gavin Scott, I'm Imani Payne.
If you would like more information on Coppa Cafe and its events, visit coppacafe.net.
Quidditch is a quickly growing sport inspired by the game famously featured in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. October 5th, the NAU Narwhals Quidditch team will be hosting the second annual Lumberjack Invitational. Teams from Arizona, California, and Nevada will be competing in this tournament.
Quidditch is international sport at the moment. It's based off the mythical sport from the Harry Potter books, but the sport has really distanced itself from that legacy, especially the NAU team. It's basically a mix between rugby and dodgeball. Also, as you might notice, we still do ride brooms.
Lumberjack Invitational is the biggest tournament we will ever have so far in Flagstaff.
We're looking at 5 teams coming in from all over the West. We have our rivals, Arizona State University, who have been up here the past 2 years. We're at Lumberjack Invitational. We've taken it to them, so we're hoping for a 3-peat of beating them again up here. They really can't handle the altitude, it seems.
We're currently ranked by number 21, according to some polls, and there's going to be 5 other teams here, including the number 2 team that's coming from LA. That's the Lost Boys.
And they have a lot of hype in the region and the world in general, but it's really all about that ASU game to us. If we win that game, that's a victory in the tournament because they are our rivals. Hopefully this year we'll be able to keep it clean, have a really great game for you guys. If you want to see Quidditch at its most aggressive, that's the game you're going to want to see.
Quidditch is it's cool, man. It's really changing. It's becoming something that every year it just gets bigger and better and it gets more intense. It's really turning into something interesting.
Are we going to win the Lumberjack? Yeah! Are we going to beat ASU? Yeah! Are we going to beat the Lost Boys? Yeah! Are we going to beat U of A? Yeah! Yeah! And we're going to kill QBQ! Yeah! Narwhal Nation! Oh! Oh! Oh!
The Lumberjack Invitational will be held on Saturday from 11:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. at the NAU South Campus Recreational Complex. There will be no charge for admission. For more information, visit quidditch.nauquidditch.com. Coming up after the break, Lee Bourne has your weekend weather forecast.
And get the latest details on the Phoenix Suns coming to Flagstaff. We'll be right back.
I was an ordinary guy, but I switched to Suddenlink's new internet. And now I can't stop being awesome, because it's the fastest in town. Downloads, uploads, any kind of load. Everything just flows. At speeds 13 times faster than phone company DSL. Even when the whole family is online, there's no buffering. With DSL, we were suffering. Yep, anything the phone company can do, I can do faster. Now that I have the next big thing from Suddenlink. Now that I have a house full of easy.
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here. I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today, I'm just an aluminum can, but one day, I could be a stadium.
All right, out ahead of another approaching fall storm system as advertised. Winds on the increase throughout the day. Still temperatures quite mild, just a couple degrees below seasonable averages. 65 degrees our high temperature here in Flagstaff. 67's the average for this time of year. 83 the record high set back in 1980, and right around average for our overnight low as well. We're going to go well below average, and kind of bothers me. One of the things we talk about, the normal temperature where we should be. It's very rare to be on seasonable average. A lot of times we're 10 degrees below. Sometimes we're 10 degrees above. And that's how we come to the average. Well, we're going to go 10 degrees or so below here as the storm system makes its way through the next couple of days. Here's a look at it on the southwest satellite. Here we are in Arizona, not a cloud in the sky, maybe a couple clouds. Maybe I take that back. We do have a cold front draped off just to our north, main low pressure system well off to our north. We're at the southern end and the dry end of this cold front. We're not going to see anything out of this except continuing winds throughout the night tonight and then much chillier air as it filters in. In the meantime, the storm system, as it makes its way through the Rocky Mountains, we do have snow advisories throughout the western slope of Colorado, the northern Rockies of Colorado have winter storm warnings, and then there's winter storm warnings all the way up through the Rockies, all the way through Wyoming and into Montana. But down here at the southern end, it's just going to be wind and cooler temperatures. As a matter of fact, we take a look at the temperatures across the nation, and this is a couple-hour-old map. I couldn't get a new one, so I don't want to falsely advertise that these are current temperatures, but notice we have these purples up here in the Intermountain West, and then the purples start to combine with the yellows, and that's right where you have the cold front. The colder air behind the cold front, the warmer air out ahead of it. We're still out ahead of it. This colder air, though, it's making its way in, and it's going to be much chillier out there for us the next couple days. We'll get to that in a second. Currently outside, 57 degrees. Winds are gusting to 25 miles per hour. We have had winds gusts across northern Arizona today, right around 40 miles per hour. We're going to continue with some pretty strong winds overnight. Not quite as strong. They'll settle down a little bit, but we're going to go windy all the way through the night with an early morning low of 37 degrees. As I mentioned, tomorrow, much colder. The cold front kind of just drapes right on top of us and stalls through the day tomorrow. We continue with the wind. Not quite as windy as today, but that wind coupled with the temperatures only being in the mid-50s, tomorrow will be a pretty chilly day out there. Forecasting 56 for a high. It's all sunshine, and the winds will switch out of the southwest when we're out ahead of the front, but when we get behind the front, it's that cold northerly wind, and that's what we'll deal with tomorrow, and it'll remain chilly into Saturday before we warm up, getting into late portion of the weekend. Okay, so it's going to be windy all across northern and central Arizona tomorrow with that northerly wind. 61 Tuba City, 66 in Winslow, 70 degrees forecast for the end of the week in Sedona. And the extended forecast remains a little bit chilly into Saturday, but it's all sunshine. A lot less windy out there on Saturday, but still on the breezy side. Then we get late in the weekend, we're done with the wind. Temperatures are way back up to a very comfortable place. And look who we have here. It's like the old days for any of the old folks out
well,
there.
thanks for that, Lee.
Yeah.
Right, so Brooke, what can we expect with sports coming up this weekend?
You know, we got a lot of high school volleyball and NAU soccer coming up.
Hi, I'm Terry Markson. As seasons change, so does the inventory at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. But before we make room for the 2014 Cadillacs, we've still got a huge selection of brand new 2013s to choose from. Models like the powerful CTS, the ATS voted 2013 Car of the Year, the popular SRX crossover, and Cadillac's crown jewel, the Escalade. You can always count on our same relaxed, no pressure environment. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
We're going to start things off at the net with some high school volleyball. Northland Prep started off pretty well, but as we got deeper into the season, the game seemed to be getting a little more intense. The Spartans are hosting the Scottsdale Christian Academy Eagles tonight. Both teams have average records, so this game should be an exciting one. That game started at 6 o'clock at Northland Prep. And Coconino High is coming off a win from Tuesday night's game in hopes to keep that streak going. The Panthers will be hosting the Fountain Hills High Falcons tonight. Both of these teams have average records as well, so this is another game to keep your eye on. The first serve was at 6 o'clock in Coconino's gym. And keeping at the net, Flagstaff High School Volleyball goes into their game tonight with the best record of our local schools with only 4 losses. But this is going to be a great game as the Eagles take on Snowflake High School. The Lobos only have 6 losses all season, and with playoffs around the corner, both teams are looking for the win. The game started at 6 in Flagstaff's gym. And you can get all the scores to the high school volleyball games at maxpreps.com. And moving up to the collegiate level with the Lady Jacks volleyball team, the Jacks will be hosting 2 games this weekend. The game tonight is against first place Portland State, but with the home court advantage, the Jacks are looking to take that first place spot away from them. That game will start at 7 o'clock in the Roll Activity Center. And on Saturday, the NAU Lady Jacks will be hosting Eastern Washington, and that game starts at 7 o'clock as well. And after a rough loss last week, the Flagstaff High Eagles football team is looking to bounce back. With Kyle Wilson leading the team against Mingus High School tomorrow, the Eagles have a 2-3 record going into tomorrow's game, facing Mingus, which has a 1-4 record. The game will be held at Mingus High School tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And sticking to the high school level, the Coconino Panthers will be playing at home tomorrow. After a loss to Kingman last Friday, the Panthers are looking for another win. With their 1-4 record, Coconino will be facing the 4-1 record team, Bradshaw Mountain. With only 5 games left in the regular season, playoffs are starting to hit the high schoolers' minds, and Coconino's game started against Bradshaw tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And switching fields, it's that time of year again. Our NAU club baseball team has their fall opener this Saturday with a doubleheader. The Jacks will take on the University of Arizona club team with their first pitch at 12 noon. This doubleheader will be held on Flagstaff High's baseball field. Admission is free, so make sure to show some support for your Jacks baseball team. And switching over to our feet, the NAU Lady Jacks soccer team opens up their Big Sky Conference against Idaho State tomorrow night. The Jacks will be opening up the season with a 5-2 record. The game will start under the lights at 7 o'clock tomorrow night at Lumberjack Stadium. They follow up that game with their second conference game on Sunday. The Lady Jacks will be kicking off against the Weber State Wildcats, and that game starts at noon at Lumberjack Stadium as well. And the Suns are in town, and they have their scrimmage coming up on Saturday in the Sky Dome. The scrimmage is open to the public, so anyone is welcome to come and watch Suns play. The scrimmage starts at noon in the Sky Dome on Saturday, and let's make sure to show our support and fill the Sky Dome with fans. And happy October, because it is playoff season for baseball fans. And I am going to take you into the top of the second of the Tampa Bay-Cleveland game. And this is Young with a deep, deep homer to left, and he gets the first run on the board for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Now top of the fifth, runners on first and third. Jennings with a nice shot down the third base line, and the runner on third will score, and Cleveland can't quite make that play home as Longoria will slide under, and that's a 2 RBI double for Jennings. And now Tampa Bay up 3-0. And now I'm going to take you to the bottom of the fourth with Cabrera up, bases loaded, looking for a run, but can't quite get it as Tampa Bay pulls the double play, and they win and advance with a 4-0 win.
Rays are on fire.
They
Sounds
are.
good. The
They're
Phoenix
coming
Suns
back
came
with
to
that
my
one.
daughter's school today. And
Really?
they had the best time.
They were here at the
having a lot
studio
of
last
events.
night.
Oh, they were.
Pretty cool. They're making their rounds.
Yep.
I would love to see them.
They've definitely had a lot of events this week, so it's been kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Good for them. That's great.
We'll be right back.
Menino Community College to Northern Arizona University. Keep learning without leaving your community.
Living in the country is a lifestyle choice. My bachelor's degree allows me to afford this dream by writing grants from home.
With a bachelor's degree, I'm able to work in a field that puts me and my kids on the same schedule.
Getting my bachelor's degree allows me to use my experience, add new skills, and adapt to a changing world.
Coconino Community College to Northern Arizona University. Visit ccc2nau.com.
Ready to follow your dreams? Let Northern Arizona University chart your course. With local classes at more than 30 campuses statewide.
My NAU is in the Valley.
My NAU is in Mojave County.
Convenient, affordable, with accredited degree programs.
My NAU is in Tucson.
My NAU is on the reservation.
The extended campuses of Northern Arizona University. Statewide, online, and in Flagstaff.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
All right, welcome back. Chilly, windy out there tomorrow. Still a little bit cool on Saturday, but a big warm up in store late in the weekend and early next week.
All right, thanks for joining us. Have a great night.